So this is my Babylock Jazz II, and I've got all the tools out to play with her today and to clean her up. Just wanted to give you guys a quick look beforehand, and then I'm going to get you as close in there as I possibly can for cleaning this up. I have some difficulties with my hands, so it's easier for me to use tools to lift some of this stuff out. And what I'm doing here is I'm just removing my bobbin, and I've removed the cover plate that goes over the bobbin, and I'm going to set them aside so that I can clean this up. I'm also going to go ahead and remove the foot, and everything is just getting set off to the side on the left because that's where I have room. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to go down in here and I'm going to clean just the little bits of fur that are out of here. And remember, I told you I'm going to go ahead and replace my needle while we're doing all this stuff today. This is the screwdriver that comes with the Babylock. It is not really great, but it is the right height, so I'm going to at least break the screws free doing that. I do nothing with my left hand. So we're going to laugh at me trying to undo that. Got to get the right hand in there and do it. All I'm trying to do right now is just get it loose enough so that I can use my thumbs to undo those screws. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're pretty careful about where you move things to. And I'm going to leave my screws in the plate as much as I can. Then I'm going to lift my plate up out of here. You has to slide, machine. There we go. Ooh! Oh! I am a bad mommy to my machine. Look how dirty that is. While I'm looking at that in shock, I'm going to go ahead and pull my plate, and I'm just going to dust it. Notice that I'm using a paintbrush instead of that little weird brush that comes with the machine. And I could really clean this with a cloth, but I just want to get all the fur off of there. And then, let's see if I can get you in any closer here so you can see. I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to start by lifting out as much of this as I can. That's the first little round. Let's keep going here. This will make your machine run slow. It'll make it run badly. It will jam up your needle. I'm getting down in the feed dogs here really thoroughly. Wow. I can't believe how dirty my machine is. And you'll notice, I'm going to set you down so you can, you'll notice that there's little pieces of thread and lint and all kinds of stuff in there. I'm just setting all the lint aside in a little pile over here out of the way. And this really isn't from all that long. This is from maybe a week. And I don't sew tons, but I've been doing a lot of applique. And applique seems to produce more dirt. I use a different machine for most of my piecing. Let's get my little screwdriver, hang on to the needle, pull the needle out, and then I'm going to clip that thread. Yikesy, yikesy. I'm not getting down in the bobbin case with this big brush. I want to use the little one that came with the machine. But I am trying to get all that fur and fuzzy from down inside there before I take the bobbin case out. And I want to get my feed dogs clean. What I don't want to do here is knock more fuzz and stuff down into the bobbin case. Which is why I'm holding out on taking it out of there. Okay. Oh, I don't like these brushes because they come apart so easily. That's one of the biggest reasons that I don't use them. It's nice that they give you a seam ripper with it, but I don't like it. So now you can see my feed dogs down in there. Still working on the little stuff. I also live in Florida where it's super humid, and I live on a dirt road, so everything kind of gets pushed down the road. Okay, now I'm going to take my bobbin case out, and you can see my bobbin case has a little bit of dirt or fuzz on the back and on the top, so I'm cleaning all of that out of there. And now I'm going to get down in here and get all the fuzzies out from under the bobbin. This will affect your machine's performance. It'll cause it to jam. And that right there will cause major issues. And this explains why my machine messed up so badly. See that little piece of needle? Apparently I broke a needle at some point and didn't get all of the pieces out of it, or from the needle out of the machine. Take that off of there. That needle goes in my little used needle bottle. I just use a prescription bottle, and I keep old needles. And I'm tossing the needle that was in the machine as well. So they just went into the prescription bottle. And I'm going to get down in here and make sure I get all that lint and dust. That wasn't lint, that's the oil. That's where the oil goes. So I'm going to put it back in. You'd never know I cleaned my machine regularly, would you? Alright. Put the oil wick back in there without tearing it up. This is probably something you're supposed to take it to the shop to do. But this closest shop to me is a couple hours away. And I know how to do this, so let's just do it. And you can see it's showing that it's got plenty of oil on there. And I'm just going to clean all the little lint up from around there. Okay. Paying lots of attention to it because I want to make sure that there's no lint left anywhere. I want it to be clean and pristine and pretty. Okay. Looks like everything's as clean as I'm going to get it. I'm going to put my bobbin holder back in here. If you have a mechanical machine like the Juki, this is the same as that little silver piece that shows out there. And I am looking for the mark that tells me where it's supposed to sit. And it just rests in there. It doesn't really lock in. And despite the fact that there is oil on that little wick, I'm going to give it just another drop. And this little oil bottle is the coolest thing ever. Because you don't have to tilt the bottle, you just squeeze until it puts a drop of oil right where you want it. And it's not messy, which is awesome. Okay, so now that we have all of that lint gathered up and the needle out of our machine, it's time to start putting it back together. And this is what I got out of my machine. It's a pretty big looking clump. It looked way worse when it was in the machine. So, Now let's put her back together. We're going to put our plate back in here. And you can feel when it's in the right spot. Picking up my screws and putting them back in. And I usually get one started and then do the other. Little fiddly to hold for me. And I screw them in as far as I can with my fingers. And then I'm going to tighten them with this little screwdriver that doesn't want me to hold it. I should have brought my regular little screwdriver in here, but I didn't, so we'll deal with it. Alright, and then I'm going to tighten it down fairly tight. Make sure that it's all in there the way it's supposed to be. And I'm going to load my bobbin. I never do this right the first time, so don't laugh at me too hard. It's the little stuff that drives me batty. And then, yeah, that's right. Okay. Now we're going to put a needle back in here. I'm going to move you just a little bit. So now we're going to put a needle in. Looking to see if I've got needles in my machine. In the little box, I don't. So I am putting in a universal 9014 needle. And I'm trying to see if that will show for you. This needle is flat on one side. That flat part goes to the back when you put your needle in. So I'm going to stand my needle up. I'm going to make sure that the flat part is to the back. And I'm going to slide. No way to do this without getting my hands in the way, sorry. And you're going to push your needle up in there as far as you can push it with the flat to the back. And you're going to hold your needle up in there. You're going to put your needle in there with the flat to the back, push it up as far as you can push it, and then you're going to tighten the needle holder. And then you're going to use the screwdriver to make it tighter, because the worst thing that almost the worst thing you could have happen is for that needle to fall out while you're using your machine. We don't want that to happen to you. It can be dangerous, and if you don't have safety glasses on, it could put an eye out, like they say in the Christmas story. All right. I'm going to put my foot back on. Okay. There is still some more work to be done on this machine. Let's take a broader view so you can see this. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do on my machine is I'm going to polish the surface with my polish that I have for... I'm going to polish the surface next with some wax that I purchased for polishing machines and get it all prettied up. And then we're going to do some applique. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You have a great day, and thank you for watching.